Welcome back, IQ Ninjas. In the last episode, we discussed the factors that led up to the American Revolution. It is today that we learn about the happening itself. The American Revolution is renowned, elevated, even exalted, and most people know the story. But history is more than a timeline and a couple quotes. There is thought behind it. Throughout this video, we will be taking the spotlight off the actual battles and people themselves, and instead placing it on the motives, effects, thoughts, and philosophy behind the men and women that sparked this eminent war. The war began on April 19, 1775, and officially ended on October 19, 1781, an exact 6 years and 6 months. As previewed in the previous episode, the first shot, the shot heard round the world, was fired at the Battle of Lexington and Concord, fought between Massachusetts militiamen and British soldiers. The militia lost badly at Lexington, but pulled out a solid victory as if they had pulled a rug out from under the redcoats' feet. The significance of this battle is often hidden behind the fact that it was the first official face-off. It boosted morale for America, a much-needed resource, but it also angered the English. It was because of this that the colonists realized they needed a leader. Who did they elect? The failure, the lieutenant colonel who led the flopped event against the French in the 7 Years' War, George Washington. Washington begins to mobilize the militias in the colonies in an attempt to create an army, but it is no easy task. As stated in episode 2, these colonies are far from a union, and not much closer to being allies. But before he could create one force, anything that had a chance at defeating the Brits, George Washington must convince 13 colonies that their strength lies not in what they alone can do, but what they can do together. Eventually, he does. But the British aren't going to let themselves be humiliated easily. 1776 is a harsh year. The so-called Continental Army experiences a defeat at New York, and it is bad. Only because of fog does Washington's force escape British cannon fire, and the British occupy Long Island. There are a few skirmishes here and there that the Patriots win. It is this year that a commander-in-chief realized that the American forces would only ever win in guerrilla fights. The Redcoats were highly trained, many in numbers, and well supplied. But 1776 yields one good thing for the underdogs. The colonies had a string of political victories. Virginia drafted a state constitution, Thomas Paine's Common Sense is published, and the Declaration of Independence is drafted, printed, read publicly, and signed. And the night of Christmas, George Washington crosses the Trenton River and catches the German Hessian mercenaries in a drunken sleep. 1777 is the same, good mix of wins and losses. French-born Lafayette arrives in Philadelphia, and the Patriots win the Battle of Saratoga, the bloodiest battle of the war, both of which will benefit Washington greatly. But Washington spends the winter in Valley Forge, where the Continental Army trains but freezes. It is February 1778 that France and the colonies signed an alliance pact. France, wanting vengeance for the 7 Years' War and seeing an opportunity to make money and perhaps a lasting alliance, agrees to fight Britain on the seas and on the North American continent. The British troops get a new general, and the fight in the south leans in England's favor. For France, though, the family pact still stands. It is mid-1779 that Spain declares war on Great Britain. 1780 and 81 are mostly fought in the south, and Washington's new general, Nathanael Greene, does not do well. But in a surprise turn of events, the French cut off the Chesapeake Bay, landed several French soldiers in Virginia, and the combined forces fought the Battle of Yorktown, where British General Charles Cornwallis surrendered his sword, technically ending the revolution. Britain just got tired of dumping money into a fight they realized that would either end in surrender or a costly victory. The Brits probably could have won, but that would have cost time, money, and resources they no longer wanted to throw in the trash. Plus, who knew what tricks Washington had up his sleeve? It was 2 years after Cornwallis's surrender that the Treaty of Paris was signed by both sides, and when the Redcoats evacuated New York. Then, Washington resigned as commander-in-chief, a title he would soon again hold. And the whole world stood back and watched as political geniuses, veteran military leaders, and a group of 13 colonies tried to craft a nation. But that's a story for next time. Thanks for watching this Quantum Blackboard episode. Please like and subscribe, as well as go to quantumblackboard.com to watch more videos and become an IQ Ninja. Remember, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so go ahead and follow us there too. Again, thanks.